Good morning, students. Grade plus 1, subject IP, and today's topic is types of software. Before going to start today's topic, just have a recap of the last class. Last class was based upon the mobile system organization, that what is mobile system, what is mobile and importance of mobile. We discussed about the block diagram of mobile, what is APU, what is GPU, what is RF transceiver, parts of processor, communication processor, APU application processing unit, GPU graphic processing unit, then about the display system of mobile, then about the camera unit and RAM ROM, storage of a mobile system, what is external storage. So these all things in yesterday class we discussed. Today's topic is about the software type and types of software. Basically, a computer system consists of hardware and software for its proper functioning. As you all know, from our earlier classes we are discussing about these things, that hardware means hardware represents the physical and tangible components of a computer, and software means software represent the set of programs that govern the operations of a computer system and make the hardware run. Without software, hardware is not able to function. What are the proper functionality of a hardware? Without software it is not possible. Software can be classified broadly into two categories. Here we can see system software and application software. System software means the software that is controls internal computer operations is called system software. So basically, in simplest language we can say a software that is for the system. So that is our system software. The system software can further be classified into two categories. First one is operating system and second one is language processor. An operating system is a program which acts as an interface between a user and hardware. It is an interface operating system. It is also known as the master program of a computer. It is an interface between user and system hardware. It is an important component of a computer system which controls all other components of the computer system. So here is major components of a computer system are: first hardware, the core of computer, then operating system, second layer, third layer is application program, and fourth layer is humanware. Humanware means we, the users. So a hardware is required to make a computer. Without operating system, these hardwares are not workable as a system. If operating system is there, then operating system control all the hardwares. So all hardwares are working together as a unit, so that a computer is also known as a system. Over operating system we can install application programs. Application programs means a type of software that is designed to do some special function, some special task, such as Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. These are designed to do one special task. Inside Word we can create a document file. In Excel we can create a spreadsheet file. So that we can say these are application. For one application it is developed and installed. And what is the position of application software? At third layer, mean to say that if OS is there, then only we can install operating system. And the main outer layer, fourth layer, is the humanware. We, the users. Without us also these hardwares are no means. If no user, then no means. So these are the four major components of a computer system: hardware, operating system, application program, and humanware. Second one, language processor. In language processor you can see a language processor is a special type of computer software that can translate the source code into an object code or machine code. So it is a type of software that works as a translator. What is the work? We all know that computer is not able to understand our language or high level language. What is high level language? A language where English alphabets are used, known as high level language. So what is written in high level language, computer is not able to understand. Why? Because the language of computer is binary language, that is also known as machine language. So a software is required that is known as software language processor or software language translator. The work of language processor is to convert high level language into binary language or machine language and vice versa. There are three types of language processor. First one is assembler, then interpreter, and then compiler, that we will see. Here is two new words are given here: source code and object code. A source code refers to the program code written by a programmer in a high level language. As I discussed, what is high level language? Means a language where English alphabet is used, that is high level language, and this is known as source code. A source code refers to the program code written by a programmer in high level language. And next one is object code. An object code refers to a code usually in machine language or binary code, a language that computer can understand easily and run on hardware. There are three types of language processor. First one is assembler. The work of assembler is to convert the program written in assembly language into machine language. Maybe this word language is a confusing. So first there are three types of language. First one is your machine language, then assembly language, and high level language. This machine language and assembly language and high level language are basically categorized into two: low level language and high level language. Machine language or binary language is known as low level language, and assembly language and high level language are coming under one category, high level language. So two categories there, high level and low level. Under high level language as well as assembly language, both are coming. So what is assembly language? What is the difference between these three? First one is high level language, English alphabets are used. In assembly language also English alphabets are used, but in high level language, this language is platform independent, but assembly language is not platform independent. What is this word platform independent? Platform independent mean to say that a program written in one machine means write anywhere and it will work everywhere. That is platform independent. There is no foundation of machine. But in case of assembly language, this machine foundation, platform foundation is there. Means wherever you will write, only there only this program, these codes will run. That is assembly language. Assembly language is also written in English alphabets, but platform dependency is there, so that it is also considered coming under low level language. So three types: assembly, then low level and high level. So assembly language and binary level language both are coming under low level language, and high level language is third generation language. First generation is machine language, second generation assembly language, third generation high level language. Okay, after that fourth, then fifth generation of language is also running. That is not our point. So just to go through the point, there are three types of language processor. First one is assembler, second is interpreter, and third is compiler. Okay, so here we can see assembler converts the program written in assembly language into machine language, assembly language to machine language, because assembly language also using English alphabet and computer is not able to understand. So one translator is required, one language processor is required, that is our assembler. Second one is interpreter, a type of system software that translate and execute instructions written in a computer program line by line. It converts the program written in high level language into machine language and vice versa. And third one is your compiler. A compiler is another type of system software that translate and execute instructions written in a computer program in one go. The difference between compiler and interpreter is that both are doing for high level language conversion, but difference is that interpreter is doing line by line conversion and compiler is doing all in one go. Compiler also convert a program written in high level language into machine language and vice versa. Next topic is application software. Here we can see application software. An application software is the set of program necessary to carry out operations for a specific application. Application software can further be subdivided into four categories. First one is packages software, second utilities, third customized software, and fourth one is developer tools. First one is packages. General application softwares that come in a group of software known as packages. In simple language we can say group of software is known as package or packages. For example, Microsoft Office is a package. Why? Because inside Office there are several types of software such as Microsoft Word, Spreadsheet, Excel, then PowerPoint, then Access, OneNote, and many more. So we can say Microsoft Office is a software package. So group of software is known as package. Second one is utilities. Another subdivision of application software is utilities. Utilities are those application programs that assist the computer by performing housekeeping functions like backing up disk or scanning or cleaning viruses or arranging informations, etc. For example, text editor, backup utility, compression utility, disk defragmenter, and antivirus softwares. These are utilities. Next one is business softwares. What is business software? This type of software is a specifically created software according to a business requirement. This type of software is developed to meet the general requirements of a business. For example, inventory management software, payroll system, financial accounting, hotel management and reservation systems. These are types of application software. Application softwares are designed to do some specific application. Our next topic is business software, and next topic we are going to discuss, that is our software libraries. What is mean by library? We all are aware that library is what? A storage location where we can keep something. If it is a physical library, then our books will be there, and if it is a library for software, then software will be there. A software library is a predefined and available to use suite of data and programming code in the form of pre-written code or functions or a script or classes, etc., that can be used in the development of new software programs and application. For example, NumPy is one software library, SciencePy, Pandas, these are software library. So software libraries are a storage location where predefined tools are safe. What is the use of these predefined tools? Whenever needed to create a software, we can easily take from there and we can do our work fastly. So what are the codes, what are the components are saved inside library? All are reusable components. So number of times we can use such components for our development work, and again it will be there for next use, for further use. Next topic is transition from calculator to computer. Transition from calculator to computer. So as we all know, calculator is also an electronic device, computer is also an electronic device. But what is the difference and why we are transitioning this transformation from computer to calculator is there? So this topic is dealing about that only. What is the difference between calculator and computer? The main difference is that the logic power. Logic power is absent in calculator, but it is present in computer. So calculator is a handheld device used to perform basic math operations, while a computer is a multi-purpose device which can also perform complex calculations. While calculator can carry out one operation at a time, computers with the help of series of instructions can perform entire task without any assistance. So what are the transition from a calculator to computer would require? Few topics are here. What are things are there? First, extended hardware support, high performance CPU with respect to calculator in computer, integrated software support. Fourth one is programmability. Fifth, support multiple users and operations at a time. Computer is able to do. Number 6, enhanced memory and storage space. Nowadays, the maximum storage capacity is, now these days devices are available in terabyte. But what is maximum storage capacity or maximum storage unit is GOP byte. GOP byte, the maximum storage capacity. And next one, enough power. Calculator is a battery operated device, but computer is a AC current operated device. So more powerful, efficiency is more, processor is bigger than calculator, processor is able to handle all the tasks. So these are the differences, or what are the things required for transition that we discuss here from calculator to computer. Here in this table we can see the difference between calculator and computer. What are the properties written here? Calculator property, and where computer lies here, all are written here. With this picture, this comparison is going on. And with this, here is the end of the chapter number 1, basic computer organization. Let us revise, just go through the points. What are the points given here? Computer can deliver performance because of an efficient combination of hardware and software. While hardware refers to physical electronic components of a computer, software represent the recorded instructions software that govern its operation. Computer organization refers to logical structure of a computer describing their interconnections and work dependencies. So the functional components of computer include input unit, CPU, memory, storage unit, and output. So these all are related to our chapter number 1. Just go through the points and do the homework given, assignment given here, solve all the questions, update your notes, and next chapter will be related to NumPy or conversion of binary. So that we will see in chapter number 2. Before that, update your notes. And that's all for this class. Have a good day. Thank you.